Okay, hi everyone. Good day for all of you. It's good to see you back again. We are now in week 9 for English 4 for Diploma 3, KU32201. And as you can see over here, we are on the topic of writing in a journal article. So we are now in week 9, and the focus for week 9 until week 15, as I've mentioned to you in week 7, that you're going to do some writing, and the writing will be the theme of your writing will be about your second year final project. Okay, and just a little bit information about your midterm exam. So yeah, very good that you have finished your midterm exam, and everybody has followed the midterm exam. Miss Julie and I are actually in the process of marking your the result of your writing. So we'll inform you as soon as we have finished marking your midterm exam. Okay, so that's just a quick announcement about the midterm, and now we will continue to the material for this week, which is about writing journal article. So let us check the material for this week. So as you can see over here, we will have a quick review from the material in week 1 until week 7, and then we also discuss a little bit about the parts of journal article, and then we also focus on the parts of the introduction, writing of introduction for this week. Okay, so as we talk about this week by week parts of journal article, we also would like you to start thinking and also drafting the parts of this journal article, so that later when we ask you to collect all the journal articles, you will only do a little bit of finishing before you submit the journal article. Okay, so that's what we expect you to do from each of these weeks until week 15. So as we discuss about the introduction, then you start writing the introduction, and then we discuss what you have written in the introduction part in our practicum session. So something like that. Okay, so that's what we will do, and I'm going to discuss a bit about the review first very quickly. So in week 1 and week 7, we have discussed about identifying types of journal article in week 1, and we also discussed about the how to do summary, how to write down summary of a journal article, and then you also review some articles, and then you also you also discuss about writing a proposal. Okay, and we also this topic is actually part of your a midterm exam. Yeah, so you identify, you summarize, and then you also do a review of articles. Okay, and then for the proposal writing, we will talk about it probably in week 10 and week 11 about the submission of the proposal writing as your second assignment. Okay, so that's a very quick review from week 1 until week 7, everyone. Now for week 1 until week 15, as I've mentioned to you earlier, that the objective for this week's are for students to be able to write down a mini research. So the mini research is in the form of journal article, and then the report the result through a presentation. So there will be two things that you will do. You will do a writing, and then also do the presentation. You will do the writing of the mini research, and then report it through a presentation. So written and oral project, I would say. Okay, so that's for week 9 until week 15. So now I'm pretty sure that some of you get a bit anxious right now when you hear, oh, we're going to do some writing. So don't worry about this, because we're actually taking the topic for your writing, for your English project writing, from the second final year project. So the theme that you will take is from your second final year project, and then after that, specifically for this writing project, you are going to discuss the impact of your project to users. So for example, if your project is about information system development in Desa Lumbantolok in Kecamatan Selain, for example, then your writing project for English 4 will sound like this: user responses on information system development in Desa Lumbantolok in Kecamatan Selain. Okay, so you will only need to add this part for your writing project for English 4. Okay, so that's what you will do for your English 4 writing. So I think we are making it easier for you by helping you to focus only on a certain method, and also we kind of drive you only to one way of data collection later on. Okay. Okay, so now we will continue with the sections of journal articles. So I think we have mentioned this in the beginning of the semester when we talk about parts of journal article, and here are the review. So we have introduction, literature review, and then methodology, and then we also have result section, discussion, and conclusion. And as I have mentioned to you, that some journal article, some publishers have quite slightly different what we call parts or section in a journal article, but I think the points are the same. Like for example, results and discussions are in one part, or introduction and literature review are combined in one part. Okay, it doesn't really matter, but the thing is that all of these parts is going to be asked in for publishers in order for the author to write down for their journal articles. Okay, so that's what you need to focus on. So now we will go on to talk about the introduction part. Okay, and this is something that you will focus on writing for this week. So what is actually an introduction part in a journal article? So quite similar with the writing of background in a proposal. However, the information is listed in a more detailed way. Yeah, so as we talk about the introduction of a journal article, a journal introduction in a proposal, it's pretty much like giving out your idea to people so that they approve your ideas. Okay, so that's in a proposal. However, in a journal article, you want to tell more about the context, and then what problem you want to solve, and then how you are going to solve it in a more detailed way in a journal article introduction. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to pay attention more. So now we will look at the detailed information of the introduction part. So here are some of the questions that we will answer for today. Okay, so how do I start the introduction? What kind of sentence should I begin with? And then what type of information should be in my introduction, in what order? And how do I end the introduction? I hope by the end of the video, you'll be able to answer this question. Alright, and we have over here 4 basic components in how to write an introduction. So first of all, you need to establish the importance of your field. You want to say that this research is important because of X, Y, and Z. Okay, and then after that, you also need to explain a bit about the previous or current research contribution. So what happened to previous discussion about this topic? Okay, and then after that, you need to locate a gap in the research, and then also describe the present paper. So what you want to do or what you want to prove in this paper. So those are 3 I think 1 2 3 4 things that you need to discuss in the introduction. I think that's the main thing that you need to discuss in an introduction. So we will see again one by one these components. So the importance or significance. So if you want to talk about establishing the significance in an introduction, then you can talk about what kind of issues that is actually happening in that particular topic, for example. And then after that, you can talk about the significant increase of a method, for example, or you can also talk about fundamental issue happening in that particular area, for example. So then if you're talking about let's say we talk about the topic that I have given you as the example, so user response in information system development in one village, for example. So you can talk about the significant increase of internet use in the village, for example. And you can also talk about the what happens currently in that for example in that area or in that village, what has been for example existed, for example internet program in the village has been established quite well. Then that is something that you want to tell in the introduction. Okay, so you want to establish the significance of why this is necessary to be conducted. Okay, and then after that, here are some of the examples if you want to express the significance in a journal article. So you can say a major current focus in population is blah, to ensure sustainability of blah blah blah, or numerous experiments have established that blah blah blah, or the importance of, or much research in recent years has focused on example. Okay, so here are some ways of expressing your ideas in the beginning of the introduction. And now we'll continue with the topic of previous or current research. Here are some important verbs that you can use for expressing the previous or current research. And here are also some examples of how you can elaborate the previous or current research explanation in the introduction. So you can say, this phenomenon was demonstrated by X and Y in 2017, for example, or an approach was developed by someone in 2017 related to the information system development in a village, for example. Okay, so these are some of the examples of expressions that you can use later on in your writing. Now we move on to the topic of gap, question or problem. So in this section, you kind of want to mention the problem existed in the research that you want to solve. Okay, so for example, based on the topic that we just discussed, there is an issue of documentation in the village. Therefore, okay, so that's the problem. So that's the gap that you want to emphasize, that you want to solve for this research, for example. And then you come up with the examples of the expressions and etc. And then after that, in the present word, what you want to say is therefore this research is going to find out how the impact of the the information system development towards these particular users, for example. Okay, so those are some things that you can list down in your introduction for your journal article. And here is an example of how you can write down an introduction, and this one is related to I think it's related to something related to chemical. Okay, and then have a look by yourself. I have provided the reading in the slide, so have a look. And then I also have label number 1 until number 8, which is about, this one, the last one is number 8 when you see therefore, and that is the example of That's not right. So here I have provided you with an example of an introduction, and as you can see over here, there are 8 sentences. Actually, there are 8. There's one therefore over here. There should be number 8 over there, and there are 8 sentences, and these 8 sentences are actually these 8 sentences have covered the requirement for an introduction. Okay, so you can have a look later. I have given the description of the each sentences. Okay, so for example, in sentence 1, the writer established the importance of this research topic. So how does the writer establish the importance of this research? You can have a look later in the reading, in the example of the introduction, and so on and so on. Yeah. So what you will do now for week 9, so what you will do, as I've mentioned to you, I want you to start drafting your introduction. First of all, I want you to write down the title of your article, and remember the title of your article for this writing project is about your PA project, but you need to add the impact of your PA project to users. Okay, so that's something that you need to write down first, and then after that, once you come up with the title of your article, I want you to write down the significance of your project. So why your project is important, and then what has been discussed around this topic, and then what's the gap, what's the problem that you want to solve, and then what is your present study, what you want to solve in this journal article. Okay, so that's what you will do, and please do this writing, and we will discuss the draft of your introduction in our practicum session later on. Okay, and keep in mind, everyone, this is actually a group work, because I know that you are working in your PA group. So your PA group will be the same group for your writing project. Okay, but make sure that everybody contributes to this writing. Okay, so that's my quick announcement, everyone. So please do this for your practicum session later on. And here is the reference for this week's material, and that will bring me to the end of the material for this week. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the practicum session, and have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.